What is up, everyone? It is time for a TNA Impact Wrestling review for 4/3/15, April 3rd, 2015. This show was kind of marketed as Bell to Bell, so interesting concept. I think it could be like some sort of like pay-per-view concept. It kind of sounds like a pay-per-view concept. It's a little corny, I guess, but I guess they could pull it off if they wanted to. Um, but we had three main feuds in this show tonight, and it was that was really the focus of the video package to start off talking about the bell to bell thing. We had Rude versus EY, Magnus versus Bram, and Angle versus Lashley, and they instead of doing like real pictures like they usually do, they did comics tonight. So that was very interesting. I kind of like it. I don't know who drew them because they were really like outlandish. They looked like WWE All Stars comics, but you know, I, it was an interesting concept. Any thoughts on the first video package that started the night, or comics just in general?
Um, Not really. I'm kind of iffy on the kind of caricature kind of things that they had instead of the face-off pictures. I mean, it's unique, but then it could get into more of the realm of childish, if they do that for permanently, some people are gonna not be taking it as seriously. As I think TNA wants and needs to be taken seriously at this point. Because there's so much good wrestling out right now that they gotta stay on their toes with everything, and the slightest little thing can get fans to be like, this is dumb. I'm gonna go to like Ring of Honor, or I'm gonna go to PWG, or I'm gonna go to New Japan. Um, but it was okay video package. I want to know what the hell this bell to bell thing was supposed to be. It didn't make any sense to me. It was just a stupid tagline that had no point in the show. I didn't feel like, you know, there were still like promos. There were still like there was. I didn't see the point of it. I really didn't.
Yeah, I think it was used to sum up the feuds or something tonight. Where like I don't know the bell to bell exact meaning, but what from the way the matches played out and the way they kind of announced at the end of the matches, it kind of felt like, or at least even during the matches, it kind of felt like they were kind of summing a lot of these feuds up and starting new ones. But next we got EY versus Bobby Roode in a submission match. Commentators told us it was a submission match, but then EY came back and like kind of asked for a submission match, which was kind of weird. It didn't really match up. But EY cut a little promo beforehand, and he said, "All good things must come to an end. And tonight, Rude, I write the final chapter in your pathetic career. No bells, no whistles, no stopping. Tonight, history is written by the winners. Tonight, I write your final chapter. This is the last sad story in your pathetic career." Rude comes out and he says, "Eric, you said that history is written by the winners. Well, let's give a little history lesson on our story. It cost me the World Heavyweight Championship. You tried to end my career. But since then, I've beaten you in a steel cage, and I made sure I was the last man standing. I'm going to make sure the story ends forever." Eli comes back and he says, "I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to make you submit. I'm going to break your will. I'm going to make you tap." Rude says, "Tap? You want a submission match? You got it. Tonight, I'm not gonna tap. You're gonna tap, and I'm gonna make you cry." Then Rude storms the ring, and he starts to take out EY. So he thought from the beginning, like kind of a promo that kind of set up the submission match. I thought the only weird thing I thought about the promo was that it we had already knew it was a submission match, but it kind of felt like the wrestlers didn't just like confirm that it was a submission match, and they didn't really. It wasn't like set, even though the commentators kind of said it was set. That's the only weird thing I thought. Any thoughts though on the promo?
Um, the It was an alright. I didn't really pay attention to the promo. But I think the announcer is telling us it was a submission match, and then EY asking for a submission match is one more reason why kind of TNA hasn't in some ways hasn't made sense since they made the change to Destination America, where they're showing us previews of the matches next week. Now they're telling us what match type it is before the wrestler asks for the match type, and it also kind of shows why there's a little bit of an issue with the fact that the commentators are not at the event anymore. They're being recorded, after the fact or whatever in a studio. So it doesn't work out. They make too many mistakes, and TNA hasn't caught up with that yet. And I would have thought they would by now. They've been on Destination America since January. This isn't like they just switched over, so they're still working out books. They've been there for like 3 months now, 3 4 months. I mean, come on, it's not working out.
All right, so now we got the match. Like I said, Rude's onto the ring. He tries to take out EY. Um, EY kind of gets a sliver of right, but a sliver of light. But Rude retaliates, and we get make him tap chance. EY comes back with a rake to the eyes, but then he gets caught in the crossface. After he gets out of the crossface, he looks to run away, but Rude stops him, and he puts him in the crossface on the ramp. Heyman says, no, no, no. You got to get him back in the ring. The commentators mentioned a couple of times during this match that there was no disqualification, but this match had to end in the ring. Also, like, rope breaks weren't really in play, but they were kind of in play. So it kind of was confusing a little bit there, too. But Rude starts to try to do a move. He tweaks his knee. But it doesn't really stop Rude. EY throws him off. Rude sells the leg again. EY locks in a leg lock, like a kind of a leg bar type of thing. Rude reaches the ropes. EY starts to work the leg. And this is like really the only time to this point we saw Rude grounded, because Rude was kind of grounded due to the leg injury. Rude comes back and he looks for the Boston Crab. Rude catches EY in the crossface, but he reaches for the ropes. He reaches the ropes with his feet. Rude locks in a Boston Crab now, but EY gets out. EY takes the fight outside. He starts to work the leg again. They start to trade punches, but Rude gets the best of that. Rude's knee buckles again. And then we get EY locking in a figure four. Rude turns it over. And then EY ended up running into the ref off of another figure four attempt. Crossface by Rude. EY taps, but the ref is down, obviously. Then EY comes back, locks in the figure four for the win. So EY gets this win here. Besides the discontinuity between like the inside portions of the match and like the commentators, I thought the in-ring portion of the match was really good. Honestly, personally, I thought it would have made sense for Rude to win this match the way it was booked, because if you look at it, EY was really the only one really working on any portion of the body. He started to work on the leg. He really focused dead center on the leg, where Rude was trying to focus on the crossface, the Boston Crab. He wasn't really focusing on one part of the body. He was focusing on multiple parts of the body. But I did think it was a good match, and I guess this is the last match of their feud. But I don't know if I really trust this to be the last match of their feud. Just because EY coming back and winning doesn't really make sense to end the feud either. So, any thoughts on this first match of the night?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that it's the last match of the feud, which is the way it ended with EY. Also, it kind of didn't make sense that it was in essence a no disqualification match. Like the ref wasn't really stopping them doing much of anything, but they still have to make him submit in the ring. I was like, why can't they just do the submission outside? Why does it have to be in the ring? But I mean, it was a good match. These guys, we've talked about it before. They know each other so well. They've wrestled together for so long that they just know how to put on good matches. It doesn't matter what kind of match it is. It doesn't matter if it's a submission match, regular match, any kind of match. They can make it work. that's why part of why I don't really think this feud is ended quite yet, just because the fans like it so much. Um, and I don't know really what else they're gonna do with them right now. Um, there doesn't seem to be any other kind of storylines right now to put them in, except for the one together. Uh, at
Yeah,
least to me.
I, I agree. I don't know if they're gonna like maybe slide away from this feud a little bit, and then like have it to where there's a title feud between them in the future or something. I'm not really sure. It depends on because I feel like Angle's gonna keep it for a nice little bit if he wins tonight. I guess you could say hypothetically speaking. Um, but I don't know. I think this was a good like as much as it was like personal and as much as like I want to make you bleed and all that. It was still a good like just technical wrestling feud. It felt like. You agree with that?
Yeah, I liked it. I felt like a bunch of the matches though tonight kind of lacked something. Just something wasn't, I don't even know what it was, but it could have been because of the second uh, segment that be getting to in a minute that kind of gave me a blow, and I was like, oh my god. But we'll get to that.
All right, so I think this is the one you're talking about. Next, we got the Wolves. They come out and cut a promo. Eddie Edwards is on crutches. Um, basically said that Eddie Edwards has a broken heel. The commentators are kind of explaining what happened, showing some pictures and stuff like that, showing like how the break was, how it happened. Not really how it happened, but more so just where it is in respect to his foot. Eddie Edwards says, JB asked him a question just about the injury, what they're going to do and stuff like that. Eddie Edwards says, "You know what, JB? Professional wrestling is a very dangerous sport. Any, anytime any of us come out here, we risk injury. We like to take risks, and it caught up with me." He says, "As soon as we get back, as soon as we got back, the adrenaline wore off." Talking about when he got injured, he said it basically broke in half. Talking about his heel. I'm going to be out for a long time. And the Wolves, without me, they really can't defend their championships. Davey says, we're more than just tag partners. We're family. We went all around the world to stand and say we're the best tag team in the world. But us Wolves, we hunt impact. Without Eddie Edwards, there would be no Wolves. Without Davey Richards, there would be no Wolves. Without the fans, there would be no Wolves. He said we will relinquish the tag titles. However, we know that that however know this, we will hunt you down. Whoever has the title at the time. He says we will get back and come back stronger. This hunt never dies. Um, and obviously, he lays the tag team titles on the turnbuckles, which is something I kind of like for them to do instead of like, especially considering there's no like authority or anything to give it to. I kind of like that they kind of leave it in the ring because that's kind of where it should be left. It feels like that Eddie Edwards injury is a big blow though to the tag team division and just him in general. I was actually I'm glad he's coming back too. I'm glad he's gonna try to come back because I just his body language just wasn't good throughout this. But I guess we're going to get new tag team champions in the near future. Davey said that he wasn't going to wrestle without Eddie as far as in a tag team goes. So maybe we see Davey get some singles time and maybe get some exhibition, maybe exhibition time. I could see maybe. Do you have any thoughts on this
Um,
promo here?
this is a huge blow to TNA already basically dying tag team division. I mean, I can't even really think of any other, established definite tag teams that they have. I mean, there's the bromance, but it felt like they were kind of breaking up. The Hardys are really, I love the Hardys, but they're getting older. I don't really see them as a serious tag division, competitors anymore. And other than that, I mean, unless they bring in or make new tag teams, what are they going to do? Um, and I, it sucks for Eddie because he's such a he's a good talent, um, and they really kind of it hasn't been long since they've been in TNA, so it's kind of a blow to him. Hopefully, they don't like release him. Some companies, if you're hurt for too long, they'll just release you. I hope they don't do that. But on the bright side, this does kind of give Davey a little bit of a push on the singles side of it, because both of these guys, a lot of people just see them as a tag team, especially maybe people who haven't seen as much Ring of Honor, but these guys are really good in singles competition too. So I could see him, going for the X Division title. I could even see him going for the TNA World title. So it'll give people a chance to kind of see more what he can do in the ring by himself. And hopefully Eddie's his heel heals well, and he can come back sooner rather than later. I don't know, since it basically his heel broke in half. I don't know how long that's gonna take to heal. You know, yeah, and it just kind of it sucks that it was at one of the they said it was at one of the one night only tapings. So I mean, I guess if you buy the next one night only, you'll see what happened. Um, but it just sucks for them and for the tag team division. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do with Davey, and just with the tag team division in general. I mean, I think they still have a big enough roster where they can make tag teams and kind of this could be a time where they can rebuild their tag team division a little bit with newer teams, I guess you could say. I hope that they do that. It would be nice to see. But next we get a Lashley interview. He says, "My motivation, my whole life, has been motivation." Because Davey asked him what was his motivation for the night, especially not having the championship anymore. He said, "If I get knocked down, I just pick myself back up. I worked hard to get this rematch. You have something talking to Kurt that belongs to me, and I will get it back." So, um, it was just an interview to get you excited for the main event, I guess. I don't know if he really worked hard for the rematch, but I guess technically he worked hard for the rematch. He didn't like re-earn the rematch, but then again, he was the champion, so he gets the rematch clause. So, you know, in some regards, he worked hard to get the rematch. Any thoughts on the last interview?
I hate when they say they worked hard for the rematch, because no, you didn't. You get a rematch clause. I think every um, you know superstar, wrestler, whatever, in their contract has a rematch clause. You always see it. It doesn't matter what division it is. It doesn't matter what company it is. You always get your rematch clause. So, and plus, even if without the rematch clause, it was what, 2 weeks and he got his rematch? How hard did you really work? You had a confrontation last week, and then Angle was like, "You want a rematch? There you go." That was it. Like, it just when they kind of take the easy route like that in storylines, it seems like back you know in our generation, whatever, wrestling, they worked for um rematches, and it wasn't just given to them. Um but I mean, I wasn't too excited for the rematch for some reason. I don't know why. It was a good match though, but we'll get to that. But
All right, so next we get a knockouts match. We get Angelina Love versus Gail Kim. I noticed in the crowd there was a Havoc sign. It was like Havoc is women's wrestling or something like that. I like that just because I don't know where Havoc is. Um, I, I was thinking about it. I was like, she might be hurt though, because I know sometimes they don't really update you on when they're really hurt. They just kind of take them out and they have this like big comeback when you don't expect it, I guess. So I'm thinking maybe she's hurt. because I haven't heard any news about her being released or anything, so she may be hurt. But Angelina Love comes out and she cuts a promo. She says, "You know, Gail, I look at the way I look the way I do because I've been blessed. Let's not forget, I'm a great wrestler. I'm the record-breaking six-time Knockouts champion." She says, "You know, now that weight is lifted off of me, with Belichick not being there, I'm free, and I'm going to prove that I'm just as good as you, if not better." Love gets the first cheap shot, but Kim comes back with some speed, a nice tilt-a-whirl slam reversal by Angelina Love. Gail Kim, she looks to go up top, but she gets pushed down. Love with a nice hangman reverse DDT. The fight goes to the outside. We get a Russian leg sweep on the apron by Gail Kim. Gail Kim comes back, and she hits a nice missile dropkick for two. The eat the feet is reversed. Kim misses. The eat the feet got reversed, and then Kim got on the top turnbuckle and like missed the Hurricane Rana. I think she was going for like it just didn't hit Angelina Love correctly, and she like fell, and it looked like it hurt. Um, Angelina Love goes for the Botox injection. She gets it for two, but Gail reaches the ropes. Botox injection is reversed again into the eat the feet for the win by Gail Kim. This was a pretty good match. Besides the Hurricane Rana thing that happened, I don't really know what happened there. But besides that, I thought it was a pretty good match. I thought Angelina Love looked really good in this match. I don't know if I've ever thought Angelina Love looked that good in a match, but this match, for some reason, I just thought she looked really good. Any thoughts on the knockouts match?
Yeah, the match wasn't bad. You know, I was a little distracted by Taz and Josh Matthews arguing about who is the best wrestler in TNA because they were arguing about, well, if you're the world heavyweight champion, you're the best. Well, that's not necessarily true, blah blah blah. And I was like, just shut up. Just shut up. Um, but like you said, Angelina didn't look as bad as she usually does, but that could be contributed to the fact that Gail Kim basically has the ability to make almost anybody that she's in the ring with look better just because she's so good. You know, and she knows how to sell things and how to do things. So I don't know that it was necessarily Angelina was looking better, or if it was Gail Kim was selling things better, and just in general makes people look better. But it was a good match. I kind of want them to get back. I wish that TNA had a women's division, kind of like other men's divisions where it's not just about, it seems like the only way any of the women get a shot like on TV is if they're trying to get into the knockouts title picture or are in the title picture. I wish there were just feuds outside the title. Like it doesn't matter about the title, just a feud here. That would get more, spotlight to the diva or to the knockouts division. Same with WWE. They need to do that too, and not total divas. No.
Yeah, and that would bring some credibility too, like to the women's wrestling in general. Just seeing
Yeah.
more matches, because I feel like you see more good women's wrestling matches, you'd be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't go to the bathroom in this match, or however the prototypical thought is.
And I also think WWE needs to get rid of. They're never gonna do it, but they need to get rid of the divas thing and the divas title. Go back to women's title. Just women's wrestling. That's part of what people can't take seriously. Even women that I've talked to who are wrestling fans can't take it seriously because it's just like Barbie, you know. Um, that's why I kind of like at least knockouts. It's different. It's not divas or Barbies or whatever.
Yeah, I agree. So next, we get a Ghost Asylum thingamabob is what I called it. Um, Basically, this is TNA kind of cross promotion a little bit with Destination America Ghost Asylum. The Revolution was having a weekly meeting around the fire, and they kind of gave the story of the barn a little bit that we've seen in previous Revolution vignettes. Um, they try to get the guys to go into the little barn or shed or whatever you call it, and maybe look to see if there's a ghost in there. James Storm says, Granddaddy said never go in that barn. And then they said next week we'll find out what happened to the ghost asylum crew. Um, but I like this because, for one, it appeases Destination Mech a little bit. It promotes for them. It's cross promotion for TNA because you know that Ghost Asylum is probably going to show a similar thing, maybe. They give us a little backstory on the barn that James Storm uses, so it's smart for them to use the barn a little bit. Um, and I just thought it was just interesting. I'm in an advertising class right now, so maybe that's what it was, the cross promotion portion of it. But I kind of liked it. Any thoughts on this?
I'm gonna go completely opposite. I thought it was stupid. I just thought it was dumb. I didn't like it at all. You know, they could have done some other cross promotion shit. But then again, I did see something a little bit worse watching Ring of Honor with Mark Briscoe talking about Super Beta Prostate, which just I don't know if you saw that, but it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. And it was, little side note, it was funny because Jay was there too, and you can see him trying so hard not to laugh. It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. But anyway, well, but no, I just thought it was really gimmicky and just kind of, it got what it did what it was supposed to do, kind of, cross promotion, like you said. I just wasn't into it.
All right. So next we get a video package on Magnus and Bram, and basically it's been the same stuff we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks. I doubt you would have any thoughts on it.
Keep this feud going because it's awesome.
All right. So next we got Magnus versus Bram in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Trying to get this face to face, this face off. A lot of faces in that statement. Face to face, face off. And that leads to trading strikes. Magnus throws him out of the ring. The fight goes up to the stage. At first, it looked like they were going to go past the stage, and I was like, please, please, maybe. But they didn't. Bram looking for the power bomb, kind of gets some retribution, but that gets reversed into a back body drop. Then Magnus looking for power bomb again, but Bram gets out. If Magnus would have hit that power bomb, I would have been like, Bram, you might need something for your back after taking two shots to the back like that. But Bram comes back with a low blow. Then Magnus retaliates with a missile drop kick, but the spin kick by Bram gives him the advantage, and that goes for a near fall. Bram uses a chair, um, and then he gets thrown into the post. Bram is kind of playing possum, and then he runs Magnus face first into the steel steps. Magnus uses the beard to come back a little bit. We get a nice tornado DDT by Magnus. Mickey James comes out, and the commentators point out that Magnus really doesn't want her out there. Magnus sees her over there. He's like, get out of here. Move, move. Don't be out here or whatever. Um, Bram comes back with a shot to the back with a chair. Bram runs Magnus into the post with a chair around his neck. Bram teases the concerto attempt, which continues to reiterate the fact that he is so similar to Edge. But he looks for the concerto attempt, but Mickey causes a distraction. Bram chases her. James Storm comes out. He says, you don't hit a woman, somewhat to that effect, but he didn't really get involved. He just kind of saved Mickey a little bit, which was just the weird moment of the match. Was like the what moment of the match. Um, the I don't even know what to call what Magnus's finisher is now. Back suplex clothesline. I don't even know what to call it. Um, but he hit it. He hit that for two, and then he gets a chair shot on Magnus. Then we get the brighter side of suffering for a near fall by Bram. Bram pushes the chair away. Um, Magnus with two power bombs. Looked like he was going for a third, but he does the back suplex clothesline finisher that he has for the win. So I thought this was a good match. It was aggressive and it had like good like wrestling in it too for a Falls Count Anywhere match. I thought the James Storm thing was like the shocker because if you think about it, James Storm has kind of been looking like he's gonna recruit Bram a little bit in recent weeks. And then tonight he kind of just changed it up and was like, you don't hit a woman, which I don't know from something from things that happened later on in the night. It kind of looks like they may be starting Magnus James Storm and not necessarily Bram James Storm. So I don't know. It'll be intriguing to kind of see what they're going to do with that. Any thoughts on the Falls Count Anywhere match?
Um, you know, I was pretty excited for this match, being a false count anywhere. I was hoping they'd go more places than just the stage and the ringside area. Unfortunately, we didn't get much of that, which really kind of annoyed me. I was like, what the hell is the point of a false count anywhere if, one, they don't go anywhere but outside of the ring and on the rampway, and two, they don't even get the fall outside the ring. They got it in the what? This could have been just a normal match. I don't get it. But it did confuse me when James Storm came out because I was like, wait, what? You know, they could be, setting up a possible kind of triple threat, storyline there between the three of them because James Storm is kind of in limbo. He has the Revolution, but it doesn't seem like he has really a set, opponent in a storyline right now. So they could do that, I guess. And this match got me thinking about the Feast or Fire tag title briefcase. Because, the other briefcases were already used. The X Division, no, wait, no, I think Austin Aries still has his, but he's had his, like he carries his out. We haven't seen Magnus's, and this is how this whole storyline started. So it's weird that they don't tie that in somehow, or at least have him carrying it around, which I kind of like because at some points it does get annoying when they have the briefcase all the time. Hence, WWE and Money in the Bank. But I'm curious to see maybe they do something like that. Um, because their tag team division did get a big blow and they needed new tag teams. So maybe they kind of push that up a little bit. But I don't know. Um,
All right. So next we got JB talking with Kurt Angle. Angle says Lashley is the most dominant wrestler I've ever faced. He's nearly unbeatable. I know I'm in for a war, but so are you, Lashley. It's been over. He either said two or three. I don't know why I couldn't remember it, but I wrote down two. He said it's been over 2 years since I've held this title, and you will not stop me. Um, then we get a Magnus James Storm encounter. James Storm basically says he's just looking out for an old friend and Mickey James. And he says, "Good to see you again, Mickey," which kind of hinted to the Magnus Storm thing a little bit. But I think I do agree with the triple threat feud. Maybe I don't know if we really see a lot of triple threat feuds um, in wrestling a lot. So it would be quite interesting. Any thoughts on JB's interview with Angle or the Magnus Storm encounter?
Nothing on the Angle interview, but I definitely would love to see a triple threat kind of feud. Because we always get the one-on-one feuds, and we always get the tag team feuds, and then we get those where they open with one person, and then another person comes out in the ring, and then another person, and then you have like a six-man tag or whatever. But they don't really have any specific like triple threat, where it's equal with everyone in a feud, which I think would be cool. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be a cool thing, and kind of to see how they would do it too. So next we get a video package on the Lashley and Angle's first match, and then basically a little bit of footage from last week to how Lashley got the title shot again. Any thoughts on this? I don't really have any thoughts on this.
No.
All right, so next we got Bobby Lashley versus Kurt Angle for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Lashley takes Angle down first, and Lashley kind of just grounding Angle a little bit here early on. A nice little test of speed by both of them with like the reversals kind of moving out of the way of things. I thought that was a good thing. I like when Angle like went underneath Lashley. I thought that was kind of a cool thing if you remember what I'm talking about. Angle with the belly to belly, then Germans. Then he knocks Lashley out of the ring. Lashley brings Angle outside, which gives Lashley control. Lashley was looking pretty dominant so far. Angle tries to come back, but Lashley shuts it down. Overzealous Lashley allows Angle to catch his breath as he fell outside of the ring. Lashley with a nice catching spinebuster. And then Angle comes back with his German. Lashley grabs the ropes. He hits a power slam for two. Lashley looking spear. Angle dodges and hits a belly to belly. Then he hits more German. Angle, I think the fans might have been keeping count of the Germans in this match. Angle slam for a near fall. Angle locks in the ankle lock. Looks like Lashley's going to tap, but he rolls through. Lashley is beating down Angle on the outside. And then as they get back in the ring, we get a spear for Lashley for a spear by Lashley for a long two. Lashley goes up top, maybe looking for the frog splash again when Angle catches him. And he hits an Angle slam from the top rope for two. Angle maybe looking for the moonsault, but he misses it, and Lashley locks in an ankle lock. Angle, after trying to fight through it, rolls through. Lashley's head hits the turnbuckle, and Angle wins via roll up for the win. So he wins for the roll up for the win with the win. So he won the match via roll up. That's what I was trying to say. But I thought this was a good match. The roll up finish, I don't love it, but I guess it makes sense because if you look at the psychology of the match, Lashley pretty much dominated this match. Lashley like just grounded Angle and just beat him down throughout the whole match. Angle had his time, but it felt like Lashley was kind of 6-4 on Angle in this match a little bit. Um, I think that I don't know what it is. I guess like everyone has to beat Lashley like by roll up or leverage pin, I guess. But I did think it was good though. It makes sense that he's like a dominating champion, and he was the dominating champion, and now he's still really good. He's just not the champion. I thought the pacing of the match was really good. It was just a good match. I liked it. You have any thoughts on the main event?
Um, it was a good match. You know, these guys have really impressed me recently. I feel like they both kind of get better with age. As they've gone older, they've gotten better. I didn't, I was never really an Angle fan. Back in his WWE days or back when he first came to TNA. It's more been since he's gotten older that I've really liked him. And same with Lashley. When he was in WWE, I didn't really like him, and even when he first came to TNA, I wasn't really a fan, but I've liked him more, as he's gotten older. Um, Although I don't like these guys in just any regular match. I, I feel like it has to be a big match with like a title on the line or something for them to really shine. I think that's when they shine the most, specifically Angle and Lashley. I've never seen just a regular Angle or Lashley match where I was like, wow, that was a really good match. There had to have been, a title on the line or number one contendership or something. Yeah.
All right, so there's your TNA Impact Wrestling review for April 3rd, 2015. I thought it was a pretty good show. I still can't figure out. I've been wrapping my head around bell to bell for a while and been like, what does it mean? I guess there weren't really any like terribly long promos like lasted forever, but there were still promos here and there. The promos that we did get seemed to set up matches more than anything, which is kind of typical for TNA. The only really promo we got that didn't set up a match was the Wolf promo, but I think it kind of had to happen a little bit. You got any final thoughts or anything else to say about?
Um, no, I'm more excited for next week because I guess the BDC is gonna have a confrontation with the Rising or the whatever the hell the can't remember the name.
I think it is the Rising. It's the Rising.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just excited for them and find out who these two new guys are because we really haven't gotten any information on them yet. Except for the one dude looks like Darren Young. Uh, but I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Wasn't it surprising to not see the BDC or hit MVP talk tonight? Like I was thinking about that like in the middle of this review. I was like, there was no BDC tonight, and it's weird.
Yeah. There. I mean, we didn't even have low key jump out of nowhere and attack somebody.
Was this like the reaction after Joe left? Like I know he wasn't there last week, but like this was like the reaction. They couldn't do anything. They were so confused. You know?
You're like, what's going on? What do we do?
Samoa Joe, no, come back. They like end up watching the Ring of Honor show. No, Samoa Joe.
No, he's not. Oh, hey, he has a new Ring of Honor T-shirt. We should get that. But no.
All right, guys. Coming soon, probably in the next little bit, will be an AJ Lee retirement video about how she retired and the breaking news of that. Kind of breaking news, I guess at this point a lot of people know, but we're gonna break it anyway, and we're gonna talk about it regardless. So we'll see you in a bit. Hope you guys enjoy. See you guys later.